What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Overall Podcast. Sorry we missed a week.
What's up?
Last week was crazy for me.
Yeah.
Me and my fiance have possibly found where we're going to be living. So just got to check one more place. So that's what happened with me last week. We had the opportunity to go see a place that we really liked. We do like it, but I don't think we're going to get that specific place. But got to take the opportunity when it arises, especially in this market. So that's why I missed last week. I apologize. But we're here. We're here doing this thing now.
True that. Yeah, life happens, and that's a big one.
Yeah.
Bro, hey, real quick, I should know this, but I'm not the most keep up. For anyone listening, this is the first time me and Graham have spoken in detail, is at this podcast. I mean, we chat, but the update on him not living where he wanted, I didn't know that till now. So the point is, I don't just sit there and text him and ask him this stuff, and this isn't fake for the podcast, but my wife was like, "Did you find out a wedding date yet?" So it's officially my mission to get those dates. After this, you can obviously not.
Yeah.
While it's on my mind.
We will, it's in the beginning of January, so if you can plan for that.
Got it. We'll cover that.
Yeah. So that's coming up right around the corner. It's crunch time too, dude.
Yeah.
I feel so bad because I know she's got a lot on her plate and stuff like that. It's been stressful to say the least. Anybody that's planned a wedding or gone through a wedding knows that they are all the way up until the day.
Yes. Yeah. Until the day it's over, you can breathe, have some drinks, then it's like you cross the finish line. Not to mention we were able to walk out with a little bit of extra spending money for the honeymoon that kind of put us in better spirits. It's only like $1,000, but it helps much, right?
That's your entire meal and drink plan while you're there. It's huge.
That was my my drink pass on the cruise. So I wasn't going to get one because I don't drink a lot, and I'm like, unlimited drinks, why not? Dude,
we are debating on what we're going to be doing for our honeymoon because I don't want to have to wear a mask the entire time I am somewhere, and I hate them. So it's hard to choose. We can't really leave the country, which sucks.
Yeah, for the mask thing, most likely, right? Unless you prove. Well, anyway.
Yeah. So
that's an interesting time.
Yep, we've looked into doing possibly Arizona or the Outer Banks and stuff like that. Looks pretty nice little areas, but it is January, so it's we've also thought about just taking a short 3 days and staying in Texas, and then maybe over the summer actually going and doing something beachy and stuff when we actually can have the weather to do it.
Yeah, that's an option too, man. I was reading Carnival. That's who we went on.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like you got to have at least 14 days. Oh, at minimum. Okay. So you could basically got to be vaccinated or probably wear a mask.
Yeah.
Outer Banks, bro. Have you seen that show? God, I feel like a loser. That's one of those shows.
I've watched a couple episodes of the first season, but I never got into it.
Well, that's understandable because I would not say it's a good show.
Mm-hmm.
But for something a buddy of mine was like, dude, I feel cringe just telling you this. And that's how I feel right now. Because that show will make you, it makes me physically shiver. It's so bad at times, cringe.
Yeah.
It's catchy. The main storyline is really good about the lost treasure and shit.
Yeah.
If you didn't know that yet. That's really good. The rest of it's just kind of bad local North Carolina actors.
Yeah. That's one of the issues that I have with a lot of movies these days is they have just subpar actors that they're trying to make the next big thing, and it's just it just doesn't work sometimes. It's so bad sometimes, but sometimes they do good. But
there's a couple good ones in there that we'd never heard of. So
yeah.
Outer Banks. I'd never heard of the Outer Banks period growing up in the South.
Really?
And let me clarify, North Carolina is not the South. But yeah, I've never heard of it until that show. But it looks like a cool place.
I mean,
I looked it up on a map.
Is it? Where's the Mason-Dixon line?
Okay, that's not the South. I mean, come on.
That is what technically marks the South.
Kentucky didn't even fight in the war per the Mason-Dixon line. So, I mean, that's there's exceptions. Virginia was like split. So part of that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like Appalachia. Like even I'll put East Tennessee in kind of its own. It's still South, but then Carolina's their own thing. Florida's their own thing.
Yeah.
Texas are their own thing. And then the rest. Louisiana's their own thing. In my, I don't know.
Dude,
all I can tell you is based on growing up in the heart of the South. That's like the viewpoint anyway that you just walk away with. Not that it matters.
Yeah.
I could give a shit. I live in the Colorado now, but I'm just saying.
And it is funny to see the difference in the, I guess, point of views of the South. Like your South and my South are completely different. And it's two different kinds of country too. Yes. Like way different kinds of country.
Yeah. Yeah, they're similar enough. And I've always told Graham, bro, I love what Texas is, but I'll never live there because it's the South for me, right? It's the same kind of thing. So I'll just go back to there.
Yeah, you'd rather just go back home to
the same thing.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Might as well just live in Tennessee.
They're the same, but different. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting. But yeah, a lot of people out here, especially because they're not a part of North or South, right? Like Colorado wasn't even a state until after all that crap.
Yeah.
They just literally draw that line and look down. And I'm like, I get it, but yeah, no, Texas is not, or Louisiana's not. And I was like, and I have family there. I love them, but yeah, it's funny, man. Different points of view.
It is. And Florida is a completely different story,
bro. Like not in a negative way, but have you been to Miami? Like
couple
Hollywood
times.
and
I've been to Miami.
I've only been in once, but it was for like a long time because my in-laws they own a sailboat and they're retired. And no, he was Army, so he earned all of his. Anyway, my point is, they were like docked down there in Hollywood for a long time, and we go down there and visit several times.
Mm-hmm.
You can go quite a while without hearing English.
Oh yeah,
and there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying it's literally a different country if you're used to it. It's cool, but yeah, so when we say Florida's different, man, it just is.
It's a different.
South Florida's different. North Florida's disgusting.
Oh yeah, the Panhandle of Florida is just
armpit of America.
Might as well be Georgia. Might as well be Alabama.
Oh, yeah. That being said, spring break always treated me well at PCB.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. I know.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
I get indigestion thinking about it.
My senior year, they took away. They were like trying to alleviate it all,
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, yeah, no open containers for the months of March and April, aka like, hey, spring breakers don't come here. So we had to go to like Gulf Shores. Ugh. Yeah, it just wasn't big enough for all that.
Floating the rivers were a big thing here, and they did that for a little bit during the because it got so bad that like if you floated the river, you couldn't have alcohol.
Hey, okay. Weird.
Oh yeah,
weird rule. Yeah. I remember they like arrested one of our fraternity brothers because we tried it.
Damn.
Straight up searched his cooler and stuff. I'm like, dude, really? It was a glass spot. It was pretty bad. They were just, politicians trying to make it look better.
Yeah.
Oh, well, cool, man. But yeah, anyway. So like I said, guys, it sounds like we're catching up. We literally are. So
yeah.
Apologies again for last week, but we have a lot of information now. So at least there's that.
There's a lot to talk about because a lot happened. Big bombs dropped even just yesterday. Tim the Tatman.
Oh, yes. Was that yesterday? God, time is just what is time? Yeah, it is. I think we were texting. Yeah.
Yeah, we were.
I think I was watching No Cocoa Puffs, right? Apex streamer. He's a cool guy, good content. And he happened to just like because Tim switched to YouTube, and I've said it before. I love him. I like Dr. Disrespect, but I don't like YouTube's platform. So obviously I wasn't just watching it. But he was like, "Yo, what's this?" And he like pulled up Tim's stream on his stream, right? And it's like announcement at blah or joining org at blah. And it just happened to be that time. And of course, that's why I had it up. So I got to watch it and I went over to his channel because the crappy thing was like, Noko was like, oh man, he's got Dr. Disrespect in his thing. Like we can't show it or let it be heard on Twitch.
Yeah.
Which is stupid, but I get it. So anyway, complexity, man. I heard it. I know why he did it. I think I kind of explained to you, but it's still a shock to me. No offense to complexity, but it's not like No Coco was saying TSM, NRG, phase.
Look, I would have understood complexity 5 years ago. because Cole was like the number one gaming organization for pretty much across the board. Cole was just like dominant.
I didn't know that till Tim said it. He's like, look, because he was like, look, I'm seeing a bunch of L's in the chat, and he's like, haha, but this is like my decision, and you guys clearly weren't alive 5 years ago when they were dominating CSGO. Like,
yeah.
But I didn't even know that.
Dude, that not only did they dominate CSGO, but like, dude, TP, Tyler TP, if you don't know who that is, he's a former professional COD player. He played on Complexity. You have like 4 or 5 players who are still playing today with like Ian Crimsix. He played on Complexity and won a championship with them back in the early days. Like, Cole was the team back in the day. But I mean, in my opinion, they're just like falling off when it comes to like creators and stuff like that.
They have. Yeah, because like even in Apex, which is again, I'm not a CSGO person and stuff, and I didn't like watch Twitch or anything until Fortnite a few years ago. So anyway, I get that I wouldn't know it because I'm ignorant, but my point is Apex was my first introduction, like COL. I didn't even know what COL stood for until like I had to look it up. But Lou Streams, a lot of people know him. They had a good team, and then they just disbanded the whole team, and cut him. And he's a very good content creator. So on top of what you just said, that's another shock. Like they actually go get Tim. That means maybe they're committed,
Yeah, and it sounds like Tim owns it now too, right? He's part owner.
Yeah, that's what he said, which makes sense. Because let's be honest, he didn't need Complexity as bad as they needed him from a financial standpoint, right?
Oh yeah,
he's going to bring more to them than
I'm sure Tim makes what their entire company makes.
I'd hope so, right? Like, again, there's no reason he should ever join an org. He doesn't have to. Why should he? You're going to have to pay him a lot of money.
Or make it worthwhile in some form or fashion. That's why I thought like 100 Thieves was going to be a part of the deal, because that's just the org right now, dude.
Right, because the owners and stuff. And but he was going into it, and I like how he talked about it. Well, he wasn't shy to just directly say, because I didn't know Jerry Jones, the Cowboys owner, Dallas Cowboys NFL team. I didn't know he owned Complexity.
Yeah, I didn't know he owned them either.
Until that, because Nakoko was like, bro, I was just trolling saying he joined Complexity because of the Cowboys. Like, because everybody knows Tim likes the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Even though he's from like Pennsylvania or Michigan. I don't know.
No, he's from New York. He's from Syracuse,
New York. You're right. Which is even strange. Wow. Anyway, so he does. All right. So, but he quickly was like, yeah, that did play a part, but not just because I'm a fan, but because like what they sold me on, what they're going to do. I think he's having an event there this Sunday before the Monday night game. He'll be at the Money. But he said, like, look, just to put it straight, like I didn't have to join an organization. Because he's going to get like his own suite. That's the word I'm looking for. His own suite. He's going to get to do a lot of stuff with the Cowboys, which he loves. Why wouldn't he do it? I mean, I don't know. If I was in his shoes, because I'm a very sports-driven person, I'd have done the same thing.
He lives in Florida now, so it makes me wonder, like, is he going to come to Texas? Because he's going to want to be there every Sunday and during all the events and stuff like that. Doesn't it make more sense just to live in Texas?
Somebody said that in his chat or something, so he did say that, and he didn't really answer it because he was like going to get like he had a special Complexity shirt or something he was bringing to show.
Yeah.
But he was like, look, I love them both, but he didn't say no or yes, but it would probably make sense, right?
Yeah.
Then again, it's Dallas because the hot spot right now is Austin and all that.
No, the stadium isn't in Dallas. It's in Arlington.
Arlington. Yeah, and apparently Complexity's headquarters is in Frisco.
Is it Frisco? Yeah. Frisco's North Dallas. That's far from the stadium. If you were to live in Frisco's a nice area. Frisco's a nice area, but I mean, Fort Worth is like 10 minutes from like the stadium and where
Jerry World,
yeah, and like right there too is the esports arena. It's right there on the same complex.
Yeah. I mean, it would make sense if I were him. Both states don't have taxes. It's cheap to live in probably both areas. And I personally like Tampa, where he is.
Yeah,
that's where him, Tfue, Nick Merckx. By the way, I've had uncles live there and move back. If you're going to live in Florida, Tampa's my favorite area.
I've heard
the ocean, and it's nice. Miami's a little too big / whatever. Anyway, but I don't know. It'll be interesting. You can't make a bad choice there.
And he would get a big benefit too for moving his business here because Tim the Tap Man is a business. It's his brand,
True.
So if he
Maybe
moved
that's
it,
what he's working on with Jerry
Yeah.
pulling some political strings. Maybe he could get some tax breaks and stuff.
yeah,
Bringing
his
It's
business
smart.
in.
It's
Yeah.
cool. I also love that he's never short to like shit on himself, like lack of better language to describe that there, but every stream, bald fat streamer, right? Like he plays fun with it.
He knows how to laugh at himself,
But he also yeah.
which is important.
Go ahead, my bad, bro.
Like yeah, so what we were talking about the other day when we were on one of the last episodes about taking the shit that comes with being on the internet. Like Tim the Tap Man beats you to it.
Right. And that's the smartest way to end a troll.
Yeah.
What? I'm fat and bald? Read the title.
Yeah,
you can't even make that joke, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I suck at the game, also in the title. Because he's pretty real with himself. But he was like, and obviously, guys, and he started laughing because he probably saw it in the chat. He's like, I'm joining as a content creator, not a pro, although I could. Because he started laughing. Like he knows he's not,
Yeah.
He's a
that
good
would be
dude
funny
as
though.
far as that goes. A pro. Bro, he's already quit Apex too.
I know.
Like it took him like 4 days because Apex is harder than Warzone,
Oh yeah.
Like by a mile.
By so far. Warzone's so easy.
I'll transition that. I didn't mean to exactly, but Apex is on the list. Just like we've seen an influx of Warzone players, as we just hinted at. Him is already kind of bowed out because, again, it is tougher. But if you don't take my word for it, because I'm not good, I get it. But Nick Merckx has said the same thing. He was playing Warzone today.
Tfue said the same thing.
Tfue, yeah. Nick just today was like had to play Warzone like a sponsored thing, and I think when he got to Apex, he was like, "Yeah, man," because I was watching another streamer that I knew he'd play with. That's his squad or whatever.
Yeah,
and he was like, "Yeah, like it was okay. I mean, it wasn't that bad. It's just like the games are just so brain dead." Like he's like, "I just couldn't wait to get to Apex." And it's just like mind blowing to hear that.
Yeah, I mean, watch anybody that plays Warzone. Nobody cares if they lose or win.
There's no ranked, but there's also no skill if there were ranked, right?
Yeah.
I mean, really, it's just I don't know. Just don't be in cover and you're dead. Like that's not. No. I'm not great. I get it, but
dropping a 17 bomb in Apex and dropping a 17 bomb in Warzone are two completely different things.
Right. Even if you factor out the fact that there's more players, which is embarrassing, right? Even if you just won't do that. It's so funny. My boy Tfue, by the way, I'm a big Tfue guy. I always have been. I was watching the servers fail, of course, like everyone else in live, because he's been one of my favorite streamers just because I like his vibe and his personality. I get if you think he's kind of a douche or tooly. I get it. I'm not gonna argue with you, but I like him.
Yeah.
And he's really good at the game and he just doesn't give a fuck. That's my favorite part. Anyway, what was I saying? So he was grinding Apex for like a month, 2 weeks, whatever. And then the service went down and he had to switch to Warzone the past couple of days. And I was watching him in the background when I do work all day, pretty much every day. He's like, dude, fuck, I gotta play Warzone. Like he was just so mad. And today, servers had like a minor patch go out. He was on it all day. It's like, because I was like, man, I love seeing everybody play the game that I do like. I'm not saying it's great. It's just the best one out there. And it's crazy for me to see, and I don't want it to end, right? Like Tfue playing my game is like awesome because like I've been watching him since 2018 or whatever.
Man, we need to play too soon. We haven't played in so long.
I know, man. I've been playing a little bit, but yeah, you haven't been on in a minute.
I know, and I've been homesick the past couple of days. We could have been playing.
I've just been trying. They extended the rank split because of all this crap another week from today. So I'm still trying to get to Diamond one more time. Yeah, last season was easy. This one.
Also, speaking of Apex players, Wig finally joined 100 Thieves, but I don't think we talked about that yet.
Yeah, I don't think we've talked about it on here. Yeah, I mean, everybody could see that writing on the wall. But it's still cool to finally see happen.
Yeah, he was playing with Courage like every single day. You knew it was coming.
I think we had talked about it. I just had deja vu. But I think now, okay, fine, we did talk about it, but we were wondering, or not wondering, but I was like, why didn't it happen sooner, right? Like,
yeah,
we all knew it was going to happen. I think we can see now by the merchandise and everything he had ready to go, clothing, everything.
Yeah.
That's probably what Wig was doing. Like he wanted to join and then immediately have that stuff available. That's smart.
Dude. And because 100 Thieves, their clothing line doesn't last but a day.
Yeah, and I was on Nate Shot's Twitter today seeing it. It's some nice stuff.
Dude, they have good clothing. You know that's how it started, right? So Nate Shot started 100 Thieves as a clothing brand, and then he built the clothing brand up to be able to buy a what kind of team did he buy? What was the first one he bought?
Was it COD? I know that's where he started.
It wasn't a COD team. He couldn't afford it because it was like, dude, COD fees were $25 million.
And
I can't remember. I think he bought a CS:GO team or something like that. So, but yeah, anyways, he and then he finally earned up enough money to start buying other teams and doing stuff like that. And now it's this huge brand. But yeah, he started out as a clothing brand to get the ball rolling.
I knew their clothes looked good compared to other works, but that makes sense now. Huh.
Yep.
Crazy. I saw a tweet today. Not that I follow Fortnite. Apparently Fortnite's partnered with some clothing brand. And it was like a screenshot, like kids are going to be stealing their parents' wallets for this. And it was like hoodies for like $750. I mean, look, don't hate the player. Go for it, Epic Games. Juice the hell out of this. You don't know when it'll end or if it will. Okay. But the fact that like these kids, because that's their primary demographic, are about to drop $1,000 on a hoodie.
Because you know it'll happen.
1,000%. It'll probably be limited too. So it'll probably drive the price up, be resold on Etsy, whatever, right?
Resold on Etsy, resold on StockX for twice the price they bought it for.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't hate Epic for it.
No, hell no, I don't hate Epic for it.
No, if you tell me, I would do it if I was in their shoes. Listen to me. I want to make as much money as humanly possible. And I'm not ashamed to say that. Okay. Period. End of story. And that should be everyone's prerogative. And if it's not, you're ignorant to how the world works. So props to them.
I mean, even our good friend AOC, she even understands, a person who hates capitalism understands that being rich is the only way to do life.
Bro, you know? Yeah. They
tax the rich, don't tax me.
Well, what was it was just like you couldn't have written a movie about it, right?
Oh, I know, dude.
Like you couldn't assume that kind of irony in a fictional story.
Yeah.
Dude. Like that's how like out of touch politicians are.
I hate them all.
Like, yeah, it's like, okay. Like, and of course you've still got people like defending it. It's like, all right, there's no helping.
Well, I mean, just to touch on this for just 2.2 seconds, did you hear what she said about why she did it?
I think she blamed it because people were hurting on her for a working class woman or something.
She said that part of her job duties as a politician is to hang with the elites.
This isn't a political podcast.
No, it's not.
If you can't see the irony in that, that's why every socialism has failed, right?
Yeah.
The government doesn't know by design. It's just this evil, awful thing, and it just consumes everything in its path. Everything. Yeah. It never knows when to stop, and it never will. So.
Oh yeah.
Never give it more power is my rule, and that's
involves. So let's talk sports for a little bit, because what's been happening around sports too. You've probably been seeing the Joe Biden stuff. That's even made its way into college sports, dude. Yeah, dude. I
don't think so.
At campuses all over the country on Saturday, they've been yelling "F Joe Biden" all over, dude. Like even up in like the New York Mets game and the New York Yankees game, they were doing it there too.
That's shocking. I heard. I might have seen a video, but I didn't know it was a thing. So
ridiculous. Oh, dude. Also, you know how A&M played Colorado a couple weeks back, 2 weeks ago, last weekend?
Yeah, we haven't talked since then, since we texted.
Did you hear what happened at that game?
No.
I shouldn't say y'all's fans. The Colorado University fans
they don't have fans.
Were so terrible to the Aggie fans. Okay, so if you don't know, recently A&M or Texas banned abortion. That's the end of that discussion. Okay. they were yelling like at our fans, "Hey, at least we can have abortions in our state," and like trying to use it as trash talk towards our fans, and like yelling at them and throwing stuff at them and making vulgarities at our fans. Like, I mean, it was so trash that when I was at the game last weekend, one of the yell leaders brought it up and was just like, look, whatever happened last week, we are not like, we got to show that we aren't those people. Like, we have to do better than how Colorado treated us. And so when the New Mexico fans come in, I want you guys giving them howdies, welcome to Aggie Land. I want you to treat them with the utmost respect to show the country that, we're a step above them. That our class is way more than theirs. And I was just like so appalled that happened. I had no idea it did.
I didn't either. I assumed if Colorado had fans that they wouldn't be from the town that they play in, because if you're not familiar with Colorado, Boulder is like a granola different planet.
Yeah.
Like no fast food joints allowed in the whole little town. It's like they're just like that smug episode of South Park.
Yeah.
Where they can't stop sniffing their own farts because they're so full of themselves.
Yep.
Yeah. It's like, bro, just get over yourself. So I'm a little surprised because I just assumed those kind of people weren't even fans of the football because it's violent. They take that. So, but in the same vein, it's still in that town. I don't know. That's just,
it's crazy. But
bro,
I mean,
identity. It's like, dude, even I don't care what. If you try to spin it, well, y'all voted for it. It's like, did every fan hear? Like, and even if they did, who cares, right? Like, people are more than their political opinion.
Yeah, and also, hey, guess what? It's football.
Also, that right?
It's football between colleges. Like, they're just universities playing football against each other. Get over yourselves.
Too many participation trophies to where they think their opinion matters that much. You had a good point. I lost it. Negative Nancy. I'm not trying to be. I was just trying to say, like sporting events are. I hope they don't. I hope this woke culture doesn't take over sporting events. In the sense, I've always loved sporting events. People come together, 100,000 people in Neyland Stadium in Knoxville. I don't care who they voted for, even if I was the most cynical, into politics. And that 2-3 hours, none of that matters in my experiences. I've never seen any political signs, any fights, etc. And that is just such a great time. So please do not change that.
Yeah. Sports was what's supposed to bring us together. It's supposed to bring us together.
Or an escape from all of it, if nothing else, right?
Looking at like 9/11 just passed, and the tragedy that is 9/11 will always be that. But the spirit that came through on 9/12, and the spirit that came through throughout sports, and the togetherness throughout sports, and you can just go back and see those videos. That's what sports is about. Look at those moments, Boston Strong, stuff like that. That's what sports is about.
Yes, sir. And it was cool to see the Mets and Yankees play.
Yeah.
On that day, and was it the Mets were wearing New York Fire Department hats?
Yeah.
Or PD or vice versa, and the Yankees were wearing the others. That was just kind of cool, man. Just a little tip of the cap, right? Like, anyway, that's cool.
Beautiful.
All right. Apex into that. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
But again, we're just rambling here. We're just talking and catching up. Apex, Tim, we kind of hit on football. So let's go from that. How do you feel after your team almost lost to Colorado?
So, we lost our quarterback. In the second play of that game to an ankle injury, which brought back memories because we had Nick Starkel a couple years back, and Nick Starkel was doing really good, went out on an ankle injury, and then we were stuck with 4 years of Kellen Mond. So just to make sure, just so you understand why my nightmare came back, because that happened again with our quarterback. He's only out until mid-October, but we have Calzada who came in, and he hadn't seen a football field in 2 years. So he was a little nervous, and we barely squeaked by. There was just some things that we could have done better, which he just could have passed a little bit better. If he would have done that and stayed in the pocket a little bit longer, we would have smoked Colorado. But luckily, we have a defense that makes sure nobody moves the football anywhere on them. We have one of the best defenses in the league. I'll say it. I think we've had a total of, I think 14 points scored on us in total. 17 points is the only thing that's been scored on us all season. So and then University of New Mexico was last week, and I actually got to go to that game with my fiance. We had a lot of fun. It was a really good game. It was hot, but it was good, and we won 34-0. So, I mean, we shut them out. New Mexico isn't great, but we still played a lot better. And penalties beat us into some areas, but I think we're going to be all right. Arkansas will be our first true test because they actually look pretty good this year.
Right? Shocking everyone.
I mean,
they were the worst team in SEC for the past couple years.
Yeah.
Cool to see. They beat Texas.
Oh, dude, I was so happy. You have no idea how happy I was. Like, did they beat Texas, they stomped Texas into the dirt, dude. Like, it was so ugly.
They beat them about as bad as they beat Rice.
Yeah.
Just saying. I'm a Tennessee fan. I can't talk. It's just cool to see because Pittman was in the running. Was he our offensive line coach? Or did he? I think he either was like almost going to be our head coach. No, Sam Pitt. I think he was our offensive line coach under Pruitt for the first year.
Yeah.
And then when he left, it was one of those, I wish we could keep him or something like that. Man, as a Tennessee fan, I should know that story. I think he came. Anyway, my point is, I'm kind of he's kind of like the girl that got away a little bit. Like, I kind of wish it was him instead of Pruitt the whole time. But I didn't want to admit it, and now it's kind of like, yeah, you guys are wrong. So, you guys found your way, right? Like, it's an ugly win, but a win's a win, and sometimes that's good. Sometimes it can spiral a season. Sometimes it makes no difference. Sometimes it's like, look, we had a quarterback out, and at least we found a way to win. Let's use that going forward. So
and I see the look that we got against New Mexico made me feel a lot better. So I'm good with it. I am good with it. How about you? You have a big game coming up this weekend.
Yeah, dude. If we hadn't been so mediocre for most of the last decade, I would be excited. However, my school has conditioned me to simply not care. I have no expectations. So that's a sad place to be as a fan. I don't want to be there. I'm just simply telling you I am.
I've been there. I've been there as an Aggie. I know that feeling all too well.
Yeah. So I have no expectations.
Yeah.
I have no confidence we'll win.
They played the hell out of Alabama.
Yeah. First quarter, and then last week they didn't play too hot against a poor team. I was like, bro, maybe we'll win. And then I tuned back into the fourth quarter because I thought it was over. It's 21-0 at the end of the first, right? Alabama's whooping them. And I'm like, wait, if they get the 2, they tie, right? Like, anyway, so they're going to murder us, and that's fine. I just kind of want to see effort, I guess. Again, I'm not even caring, but I want to see effort. We beat Tennessee Tech. Who cares? I mean, high school teams could put up a fight with them somewhere.
Yeah. We'll see.
Sorry, I don't have a better report. We suck. Our administration is okay with mediocre, and this is the result of that. So we'll see. When they give me something to be excited about, I will. Until then, not worth my time and money right now. So
well,
I love them forever, but good God.
We have the SEC schedule up right here. You want to make some picks for next week?
Let's do it. Boom, boom, SEC. All right. We'll alternate. I'll start.
Yeah. Go ahead.
We'll do every other. All right. First up, I've got the early kickoff games because it's at Vanderbilt. Their stadium's actually not big enough to hold a nationally televised game. So I'm teasing, but it is a joke of a stadium. Georgia will destroy them, although I don't think Georgia's the second best team in the country.
I don't think they're the second best team in the country either.
No.
The game I have next is A&M at playing Arkansas at Jerry World.
Oh, that's in Dallas. Oh yeah. I see it here. Arlington, AT&T. Yep. Nice.
I'm gonna have A&M. Arkansas has never beaten us since we've been in the SEC. So I think A&M will win this one, no problem.
No problem, huh?
I think it'll be a good game though, but I think we'll win by a touchdown or so.
Okay. Okay.
Like we'll win, and I think it'll kind of and going into the last quarter, you'll know that A&M's going to win, but I think it'll
I
be a
get
hard
that.
fought game.
Like it's a game where you win by 7-13. So
Yeah,
it's technically in reach, but you never feel it threatened, maybe.
exactly.
But it's always there. Okay. You might have been on the only ranked one, so I'm going to go back to more games for bottom feeders, and then we'll pick back up with Auburn. So then you should be on. Okay. LSU at Mississippi State. We'll both give our one quick here. Actually, good God,
This is going to be an atrocious game.
I'm going to have to go LSU because Mississippi State's looks so much worse, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to go LSU as well. That's going to be an ugly game.
Yeah, bro. I'm going to watch it just to see how bad, bro. Like, make my team. Hey, we're not so bad. Go
right. Look at this. Look at this. And I hate LSU too.
And we almost had State's head coach. He wanted it. We hired him inappropriately, and that's why our last AD got fired.
Jeez.
2 ADs ago. Yeah. The Pirate. What's his name? Mike Leach. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Then the other one real quick. Missouri at Boston College. That's a cool matchup.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Matchup. Boston College is 3-0 too. That could be a good game.
Is Alumni Stadium in Chestnut Hill? Is that Boston College's home stadium?
I guess so. Yeah.
I'm going to have to Google it. College home football stadium. Research when it matters, fans.
That's
All right. Alumni Stadium, 45,000.
Jeez, anyway. That's not even the student section at A&M Stadium.
Yeah, that's smaller than NFL Stadium. That's pretty by a lot.
Yeah.
I like BC for what they are up there.
That's
right?
like a baseball stadium size.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm going to go Boston College.
Yeah, I'm going to go Boston. I'll go Boston College too. You know, they had the Hail Mary. Remember? That was a long time ago.
Flutie, band on the field. Matt Ryan. They're certainly like the best Northeastern program because I don't count Penn State as Northeastern. I guess they are. Yeah. But anyway, they're cool. All right. Kick it back to you. I think the next rank when I see Georgia State at Auburn.
Yeah, Georgia State, Auburn. I got Auburn. Obviously, Georgia State's probably going to be a pretty easy team for them. But Auburn also doesn't look hot.
No. Anything could happen. Georgia State beat us a few years ago. I'm not saying Auburn's as bad as we are at that point. But yeah. How did it end up me getting to pick this one? All right, Tennessee at Florida. We lose pretty handedly, probably by 3 scores.
Yeah.
All I want to see, I said effort. For the love of God, Josh Heupel, you and your dimple butt chin, please listen. We suck. We have a second year. He didn't even have to redshirt last year because of COVID. 5-star quarterback, third string. Somehow he moved down from starting half the games last year to third string because 2 transfers came in who sucked at other programs and earned a job over him somehow. I get Heupel, you got to spread offense, and those guys are a little bit more dual threat. But the first job of a quarterback is to throw a football within 10 yards of accuracy. And we've seen that Milton can't, and he's already lost his job to our backup. The backup has shown he played about 6 games at Virginia Tech last year as a starter. So combined full season almost of games now. He's like a 50-60% completion percentage, so below average. His touchdown, the interceptions are like 50-50, below average. Give Bailey a chance. That's all I want to see. And if it doesn't ring clear to you when we're getting our absolute butts whooped going into the fourth quarter and I don't see Bailey, I'm turning off the game. Okay?
Oof, that bad.
There's no reason not to play him getting murdered in your own conference. Give him a shot. It literally cannot be worse. That's all I want to say.
You think it's going to be that bad?
We'll be down by 3 scores going to the fourth, yes.
Oof.
I mean, it's Florida. It's just something about that nasty.
And y'all are playing in Death Valley too.
Or the swamp.
Yeah. Or the swamp, that's right.
I mean, look, Tom Petty hated it so much, he wrote a song, Mary Jane, to get out of there. Now, that's a joke, but in the end of the day, yeah, Tom Petty's from Gainesville. Yeah. You don't know about it because who would be proud of the from there? All right, all hate aside, we're going to get murdered, unfortunately. Rub it in my face, but I hate them. But yeah, I'm an honest man. You're gonna kill us. Congratulations. Do your chomp and go fuck yourself. Right. Sorry for the language. All right, next.
South Carolina, Kentucky. This is gonna be just as ugly as the LSU Mississippi State game, dude. Kentucky. I think Kentucky actually wins this.
I gotta go with you. Who did Carolina? Hold on, let me open this up. They played an ugly game. They've squeaked out every win. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, they lost to Georgia most recently and
Yeah.
got murdered.
They barely
But-
beat ECU.
And yeah, exactly. Yeah, Kentucky.
And then they dominated whoever that EIU is.
EIU. It's not EIO. It's not EIO. All right. Southern Miss at Bama. I mean, come on. Is it worth the breath out of my mouth? All right.
Yeah.
Bama. All right. Cool. Yeah, that's a good recap. Yeah, Tennessee's. I don't know. We'll
Who's
see.
Bama
It'll
play?
be interesting. Bammer. They play
Southern Miss. Ugh, that'll be ugly.
Yeah. Southern Miss is probably like not EIU bad, right? Whoever the heck that is. But yeah, I mean, Bama. Then again, though, Florida showed something, dude. I don't know.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Dude.
Bama's going to kill them. But
Yeah.
2 weeks from now, Bama, Ole Miss. I want to see what Kiffin does, right?
And
This is his first time getting to play Saban since he's had a good team.
yeah.
Other than
And-
Tennessee, when he had him beat and Mount Cody blocked 2 field goals, and he shook. This is before he ever worked for Saban. Shook his hand, said, "It'll never. I hope you enjoyed it. It'll never effing happen again." That's what he told him, Saban, in 07 or no 08. Okay, before Saban's first title. All right, this if they met last year, he didn't have his team. His quarterback's Heisman front runner. I am so looking forward to that game.
Yeah, and then the next week they play A&M at A&M. So,
Bro, if nothing else, you guys can benefit off that.
yeah.
I think Ole Miss is going to run them dry, run them ragged.
Yeah, and our defense is so hard-nosed that, I don't know how Alabama will do because they don't have a good running back this year. They can put on their shoulders.
What? I don't even know. I just
Not
assume
like
they
Najee Harris. I mean, not Najee. It's
true.
not Najee Harris. You know what I'm saying?
True.
And their
But
quarterback
their
is
quarterback might be their best.
dude. And he's like, I mean, if you watch that Florida game, he made some rookie mistakes that if he makes that against Ole Miss or if he makes that against A&M, they will punish him for it.
All right, you got me interested. All right, let's go to where's Bammer? All right, here they are. Against Florida. Let's take a look at this box score. I want to look at his numbers. So I'm with you. I think he has the arm talent, but his accuracy and decision making, naturally so young, wasn't ideal. But I was like, buddy, he's proving me wrong. Let's see here. Box scores, what I want. ESPN. Get your stuff together. All right. 89 QBR, 22 of 35, pretty decent, but only 6.9 at throw. It's pretty average. 22 completions, 240 yards. Like, come on, man. You hit 20 balls, you got to have 300 yards, right? I see what you mean. All right. To be determined. We'll see. That's gonna be fun to watch. Cool. NFL. If that's cool, shift to that real quick.
Yeah.
We can give a quick. I want to get into NFL. We can end with fantasy. My Titans. I don't know if I should say this on YouTube, but let's just say I found a workaround with an asterisk private network, right? Like to be able to be located in Seattle temporarily and watch the game. So that was fun. My Titans win in Seattle.
Yeah.
And what a game.
Dude,
right?
What a game. Yes, I
Did you
did.
see? Yeah. I mean, just the I think a lot of games switched to it at the end because it went overtime. Okay, so like backstory. I do not condone gambling. I'm not a financial advisor, et cetera, whatever. I had a bet riding on this game, and I don't bet on my Titans, so it wasn't a bet for them to win. Because again, especially because that game looked so out of reach, right? But
yeah.
All right, so it was like an insane parlay that was getting odds boosted. What was it? I needed the Cardinals, Vikings to go over their over mark, like 52.5 points. I needed Titans, Seahawks to go over 58.5. Okay. At the end of the game, it was 30-23, Seahawks winning. Titans driving for a second time, trying to get a touchdown to tie. For me, yes, I want them to tie and win. I needed them to get that touchdown to get the over 60 points. It would have been 59 points if they get the touchdown, though. They did it with like 10, 20 seconds left, bro. They could not have made me stress out more, but I won a very, very nice bet. So
Nice.
it was a good day all around. Go Titans. They got me a bet too, which I don't do. That was fun.
Dude, and that Ravens Chiefs game was so good too. Did you watch that? Dude, that was such a good game. Like, Oh man, that was like the part of
That
the
was
NFL I
prime
missed.
time.
That
Yeah,
was
like
such a good game.
can't miss football. You're right. Pat Mahomes is can't miss. I like
Yeah,
Lamar. I don't love his game, but I think if you build an offense, it can. And it was just cool to see him win, right? Like,
yeah,
because he hadn't beaten them yet. So that's cool for him and his growth. I still think Kansas City's the best, and what a good game. I just want to see them again, right? If nothing
yeah.
else. I'd like to see them in the divisional rounds, so my Titans hopefully can win and then not have to play either of them. Maybe we'll see.
That'd be nice, right? The
Oh yeah,
Buccaneers looked good too. They destroyed the Falcons.
bro. Hear this stat, okay? I don't know if you know this. Anyone out there? This is not a lie. It was factually given to me on Twitter by like ESPN Stats and Info, whatever.
Mhm.
Okay, Tom Brady. This isn't exactly regarding the game. Yes, they kick butt. They look great. I think they won by like what, almost 20 points, which is
Yes.
just bananas.
Over 20
Okay.
points, yeah.
Yeah, like 48 to something. Like what?
48-25. Yeah.
Bro, what? All right. Tom Brady, and in a few weeks he'll get this. So he has to throw 13 more touchdown passes for this to happen, okay?
Yeah.
Which is 4 to 5 games at most, okay? All right. Once he does that, listen to me. He will officially have thrown more touchdown passes in his 40s than his 20s. He's not even through his 40s.
Nope.
He's like, what, 45, 46?
Yeah.
This stat would be crazy for the age
44.
factor.
I think he's 44.
It would be crazy just to even mutter the words if a 49-year-old did it. But it's so much more impressive because he's only halfway through this decade at that age and better than his whole 10 years of 20s.
He is playing better football now than he has ever played in his entire career. Think about that.
Yes. I mean, statistically, that is a fact based off this. How is that possible?
He's the GOAT, dude. He's the GOAT.
I heard that, and it was like, how is that possible? It's only been 5-6 years, so you would think it's not even possible.
So hearing these QB stats about coming out of Tom Brady, the way Tom Brady's playing right now, I'm going to ask you a question that's really going to deep dive into your brain, all right? Do you think Tom Brady is now, with the stats coming out, a better quarterback than Peyton Manning?
I think Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback and player of all time. I've said that. I'm pretty honest. I like to look at it without. I don't think he's the most talented. Is the only thing I've ever said.
Yeah,
I'd take Peyton Manning's brain and arm over Brady's every day. That's just me. Now that's not just. But Tom Brady is the GOAT, right? Like Kobe Bryant, to me, if he faced off against Jordan, who he copied his game after, they're both 6'6". They played identical. I'd take Kobe. I think his footwork was a little better. That's not to say MJ's not the GOAT, right?
Yeah.
So.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, listen to his box score from his Atlanta game. 24 of 36 for 276 yards, averaging 7 yards, 5 TDs, and no interceptions.
Bro, I get it. I know the numbers. I know his rings. He's got it. I'm just saying, like, in a different life for different reasons, okay, fine. Look at it this way. If you're building a quarterback in a lab, I'd take Peyton Manning's brain over any quarterback that's ever played, right? He was his own coach since college.
Yeah.
Okay? And I'm not saying other quarterbacks haven't done similar. I'm saying they haven't done it as good as him.
That's fair.
Now, arm, I'd pick someone else, but Brady versus him, I'd take his power. So that's kind of how I look at it. I don't know, right? Like,
that's fair.
Build a quarterback because I'd take Pat Mahomes' arm or Vic's arm and Brady's accuracy or something crazy, right? But
right, jeez,
yeah,
Pat Mahomes does have an arm.
I thought you were gonna say this was me, like just assuming what you're gonna ask, which isn't fair, but it kind of makes sense because I know you're a Brady fan. But then I was like, bro, that's actually all right. So with my stat of him being better than he was in his 20s and his 40s, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if you broke Tom Brady into 3 players and his numbers per decade or age, right? 20s, 30s, 40s.
Yeah.
Is he the top 3 greatest quarterbacks of all time?
Yes.
I don't think so, but the fact that it's debatable is absurd.
I would say this. I would say that maybe not his late 20s.
Because like he won,
but like his 30s and 40s, yes.
He's personally won what, 6 or 7?
I think 7.
Like he's won all 6 of the Pats. Yeah, so he's got 7. Yeah.
Dude,
So
did you ever think that would be possible?
So
One
like
player having that many?
Hold on. Let me just look at this up. This is an interesting. So I used to have this debate, like you can do it with Kobe in a different way, like who's better, 8 or 24, and then you look at his numbers, and number 8's a Hall of Famer, and 24 is a Hall of Famer.
Oh yeah,
right. Like so you can do that. So Brady, I want to look at that. Thomas Brady. I think he's a vampire. I think him and Brad Pitt both. What is the Alex Jones conspiracy? Drinking the bloods of babies. They've got to be doing something, right? Both of those dudes look better now than they ever. It's just like, wait, how is that?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Tom Brady literally looks better. I'm not even saying like as a football player, as a human being, he looks better now.
Oh yeah, he looks like he's 28 years old.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Stats, ESPN. Yes. This isn't going to tell me the man. I want to see his championships. I don't know if I can find that. Maybe we can find it and plug it in the link after. I don't know. But
yeah,
just looking at his yardage. All right, 2000s. Probably a Hall of Famer. I know he won at least 2 Super Bowls. 2010. I mean, it's debatable. It's bananas. Let us know your thoughts. All right, cool. NFL, that was it. I'm glad you mentioned the Lamar Pat game, because that was just football in its finest. Packers game last night was really good too.
The Packers game was good. Yep. And then, dude, you know what else was a good game? The Cowboys Chargers game was a good game.
So I didn't watch that because it was on during the same time.
Yeah, as your team.
Titans. Yeah,
dude, it was a good game.
Who even won? I don't know.
The Cowboys did. The Cowboys beat the Chargers 20-17 with a literally 1-second field goal. 56-yarder. Good. 56-yard field goal this dude made with 1 second left. Yeah, but Dak is looking really good. I think that's dangerous for their division because their division sucks.
Yeah.
So
I'd love to see it.
The Cowboys have a chance this year. I think you may see them in the playoff run. We'll see.
If by chance you mean playoffs, yes. Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones, though, speaking of NFC and East and how bad they are, he's actually kind of impressive. I never thought he'd do much. Interesting. His coach at Duke, who are not looking so hot right now, but he was a former offense coordinator at Tennessee. He coached Peyton at Tennessee and then took the job at Ole Miss and coached Eli. And he's like kind of a quarterback guy. So it's not exactly shocking, but I still didn't think he'd translate.
And you know who's been a bust this year? Zach Wilson. That kid. Oh,
who could have guessed?
Dude, that's
in my opinion, he was just too. I don't know. There's a reason you had never heard of him until that year, right? To me, there's a reason.
He looks bad. It's not.
They're trying to catch lightning in a bottle, and okay, but you can't teach footwork, right? Like that kid's throwing off foot like he's Aaron Rodgers, you know?
Oh, dude, bad. Speaking, Aaron Rodgers isn't even looking that hot this year either.
He wasn't last week. He did last.
He looks good last night.
He didn't throw 2 touchdowns to Devontae Adams, or I would have won another bananas parlay via Barstool. So Aaron, get your shit together. He threw it. All right, Devontae Adams had 125 yards receiving. I just needed 2 touchdowns, bro. You threw it to him like 40 times. Couldn't give him. No, he throws 2 shovel passes and a dump pass screen to his running back. His running back is 2 reception touchdowns, but not Devontae Adams. I'm salty. That's what gambling will do to you, kids. Don't do it. All right. Fantasy.
All
right. You take over. I feel like I've been
on a soapbox. Fantasy's not looking good for me. I'm not doing good. I'm 0-2. I can't seem to get the team correct right now, although Christian McCaffrey's doing really well for me, averaging like 25 points a game. That's great. I got my ass handed to me this week. Looks like next week I'm going to lose 2. Hopefully I can get that worked out in time, but we'll see.
You already know next week? Come on.
Yeah, I'm projected to lose against Dan Raylat next week.
Bro, who's I'm not saying this full name on the podcast out of respect for my future children. Thanos' team, who is that again?
That's Quentin.
Yeah, okay. I got him next week. We'll see. I had a week 1 bye, which I didn't know was possible. And yes, I'm salty about it. So that was weird. Then I lost to my buddy Will. We were roasting his team name in the draft video we put out, El Tractorcito. Turns out, because I was like, dude, what the hell is that name? Like, apparently it's like an old nickname, like El Tractor, like the track. I don't know, whatever, for Derrick Henry, because he's from Nashville, like me, big Titans fans. So, food for thought. Anyway, he whooped me by about 20. My problem, I can't. All right. Not that I have too good a team, right? Like, oh, what a problem to have. My point is, in fantasy, it can be a bad thing, right? Like,
yeah,
I have Chris Godwin, Jamar Chase, Adam Thielen, as a Marquez Callaway, Odell Beckham. Odell's hurt. But my point is, I had Thielen on the bench because, like, how do I bench any of them? But here's my thing. All right, week 1, I had a bye, so it doesn't matter. 23 points, drops to 16. All right, Jamar Chase. It's so hard. 20 points, drops to 13. Okay. Yeah. Alvin Kamara, week 1, I didn't even have him. 18 points, drops to 7. Right? Like, Jonathan Taylor, running back, same thing. 17 points, drops to 6. George Kittle wet the bed this week. Like, so I'm putting Thielen in there. He's had 2 weeks of good, but sure enough, as trends, as I just mentioned, he's going to lay an egg and get single digits. I already know it. I'm going to do it anyway, and I'm just going to lose again. Can't wait. Thank you.
Yeah, I need to make some changes on my team so I can at least get some points on the board because it has been ugly. But we can go through what's happening in our league right now.
Oh, Joe Mixon. Sorry, my soapbox at 25 points, 8 points.
Joe Mixon got you 8 points. That's
last
awful.
Week after 25 week 1 on my bench, right?
Jeez.
Like, so now or not on my bench, but I didn't play at a bye. So now he's on my bench. It's like, who do I bench? You know, I can't. How do you predict that? All right, go through fantasy. All right.
So yeah, we
have looked at the league.
First place we have Dan Ray, 2-0. Then second place Johnny's got 1-1, and then third place Cam on her TDs. This is for the East, sorry. Or actually, here, let me just do the full season and without the East and West. So number 1 team still Dan Ray, 2-0. Second place team is Quentin, 1-0. Looks like Johnny is third, 1-1. Cam on her TD. Sauce is 1-1. Then you have El Tractorcito, 1-1 as well. Then me at 0-2 for rank 6, and then 7. Cody with 0-1. But you look like you have a good chance of winning next week.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what the projections say. All I can be thankful for is my first pick this year did not go down with injury. So it's a win. Yeah. Low expectations, kids. You don't set any goals, you can't miss them.
Well, luckily, you know, the league is so small that you have pretty decent backups sitting out still for pickup. Like you could pick up pretty good players.
Joe Mixon and Odell is on my bench.
Yeah. That's the kind
like
of
a free
season
agent. Leonard Fournette, Devontae Smith, Jalen Hurts, Noah Fant, Melvin Gordon, right? Like these are free agents, man. LaVisca Chenault, like Tyler Boyd. Like, yeah, it's deep. It's fun. Corey Davis, what's he doing?
It's interesting, yeah. So, yeah, that's our fantasy. That's what's happening with that. Anything else you want to talk about, Cody?
No, not really, man. I think that's good. Got my pizza. Just got dropped off.
Nice, perfect timing.
Bro, real quick, a fun fact, just like this is how old I am. We talked about the weather at work this morning. It was 38 this morning.
Really?
In Denver, yeah.
I was saying, look at the hoodie seasons.
Yeah,
hoodie season,
right?
Baby. Look at us.
I work in the garage. Built this room. I've got it heated. I got it cooled, insulated, but I didn't have anything running last night. So I went to bed. It was like, I mean, it gets down to like 50 here during the summer, so whatever.
Yeah.
But I walked in here this morning and I'm like, dude, like my MacBook had like frost, when you breathe on it, it gets like fog on it. I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, man, fall's here. Football. I'm excited.
Dude, I love this weather. Yeah.
Yes. Fall. Oh, it's the best, bro.
It is.
Well, when we got snow in the mountains, yes, that's the only thing.
Nice.
I prefer spring a little bit because it snows up there still. Whereas in the fall, you're kind of waiting to get the snow, right?
Yeah.
But we already have it now. We're chilling.
So when's the first time y'all are gonna get out and snowboard and ski?
It all depends on when the mountains open. But they literally just got snow, right? Like this is pretty early. Or about average. I guess Labor
Yeah.
Day last year was early. So if trends hold true, probably like mid-October. They probably want
Nice.
to, like get another couple feet down first.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
that's awesome, man. Maybe
man.
me and Hannah will make a trip up, come see you guys, and go snowboarding or something.
Yeah, man. Maybe whenever, of course. But maybe like a little after the wedding, you guys can breathe. Maybe you need to go, or maybe it's before the wedding and you need. We actually
have a free weekend trip that we can use to go stay anywhere we want. So maybe we can work that out. Yeah, we won it at a deal, so maybe we can figure something out. Because maybe a couple days, see what happens.
Yeah, man. Sounds good.
Well, all right.
Cool, guys. Thank you. Sorry for the wait. Hopefully I feel like this is good content. So even though we had a week off, it was good. So
yeah, it was a nice start. So all right, guys. Well, don't forget to follow and like and subscribe to the video. Comment down below for anything that you liked or interested you in this conversation. Who you think is going to win this week across the board, NFL, college, whatever you want to say. So like, follow, all that fun stuff.
What he said. Have a good week.